This is Robert Harper with Virginia Farm Bureau's Grain Division. Glad to bring you the Merchandiser Minute for Friday, January the 3rd, 2020. Wishing all of you many good things in 2020. We've had an interesting week this week from a futures trade perspective. It's definitely been a week that has been completely dominated by the headlines as the speculators who are at their desks are watching and trading off of those headlines. Let's take a look at how the futures ended up today in Chicago. March corn closed down 3 cents for the short week at $3.86 a bushel. March soybeans traded all week long at even where they opened on Sunday night at 9.41. And March wheat closed down 6 cents for the week at $5.54 a bushel. Coming into the week, we had the Commitment of Traders report to give us some information about the speculator's opinion. We saw the corn managed money speculator 84,000 futures contracts short. The soybean managed money speculator 33,000 futures contracts short. And the wheat speculator with a long or bought position of 19,000 contracts. So they were certainly telling us on the corn and bean side, even with the information that we have currently, that they were betting on prices going lower coming into the week, and that they were betting on the prices going higher coming into the week for wheat. When we look at the USDA loadings numbers that we got this week, they came in as expected for beans and wheat and a bit below expectation for corn. And we look at the sales report that we received today, Friday, instead of Thursday, we see corn and wheat coming in as expected and soybeans coming in below expected. There wasn't a lot of attention put to the report this week, being that last week was also a shortened trading week and a holiday week. We are still hearing news reports of some dryness in different growing regions in Argentina. We saw from their ag ministry this week approximately 80% of their first crop corn acres are planted. We know coming into January that the weather down in Argentina will be very important on how the futures part of your cash price trades. Keep your eye on that. We saw a lot of information this week about up to today, 5 cases of bird flu that have been reported in Poland. I've learned this week that Poland is the European Union's largest poultry producer, so watch that and watch how that could potentially affect demand. We did see plenty of news about a signing ceremony at the White House, January 15th. Very high-level Chinese negotiators will be coming to Washington, to the White House, to sign a Phase 1 trade deal. A lot of rumors were around each day this week about would we see details on January 15th about how many bushels, how many metric tons the Chinese would be purchasing over the next calendar year or maybe the next 2 calendar years. But I think especially when we see the sell-off today that was certainly tied to a lot of different factors, part of that is believing that the speculator doesn't think we're going to see any details on January 15th. We'll see a generalized number like what we've heard in the past on how many dollars of agricultural products the Chinese will purchase, but no details. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Next week, be looking for any news that you can find on trade. It will be impacting what we do, what the futures do in Chicago. Should be a very normal week, full sessions, and especially keep your eye on Friday at noon. We get not only the monthly crop report from the USDA, but we get the annual crop report, the report card from 2019, much anticipated numbers. Think about and consider getting wish orders or open orders in before that report comes out on Friday to hedge some downside price risk. Give Josie or I a call if we can help you. This is Robert at Virginia Farm Bureau's Grain Division.